Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sasha. I do fragrance reviews, a little bit of beauty and style. So if you enjoy that type of content, I hope you'll take a minute to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes sometimes I blind buy a lot. And sometimes those blind buys don't end up too well. But what I like is being able to try fragrances, kind of that try before you buy type thing, and I can do that with Luxsb. If you're not familiar with Luxsb, they are a subscription fragrance company. They have designer and niche fragrances from all over the world, and they're constantly adding new fragrances in their collection. So what is really nice is that you get this little sized fragrance. There was about 9 ml in here, which is 150 sprays, which is like 5 sprays a day for 30 days. And you can try the fragrance that you've been wanting to try. And the ones that I'm going to be talking about today are ones that I have been really wanting to try. What's nice about Luxsb is there are no contracts. There's no shipping fees, and you can cancel at any time. So guys, this is a great way to try those niche fragrances or those designer fragrances that you've had your eye on. And I just love the amount of fragrances that they have to offer. So let me go ahead. Oh, and I'm going to put a link to their website in the description box, as well as 35% off your first month. That's if you're a new subscriber, so definitely take advantage of that, and then check out all the fragrances they have. Okay, the first one I'm going to talk about, let me show you the packaging. It says Luxsb, and then when you open it, you have this little sprayer here. You twist it to open it, and then you can see the bottles here. And this one that I'm going to be talking about right now is Side Effect by Initio. And guys, I have heard so much about this fragrance and have been dying to try it. But I'll be very, very honest with you, like extremely honest. When I first got this a couple weeks ago, it was the first one I tried, and my initial reaction was like, ooh, I didn't like it. I didn't. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm really not gonna enjoy this fragrance. And it wasn't until a few days ago that I revisited it again, and I actually like it. Now, I think what I didn't like at first, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Angel Share by Kilian. It almost has a little bit of that burnt rubber kind of scent to it, but that kind of goes away after a while. I think that's what kind of threw me off. But the notes in here, oh, the first thing you're going to notice is cinnamon bark, and as well as rum. Now see, I get a little bit of that burnt rubber. Once that settles down a little bit, it gets really, really nice, because then you start to get in the heart of this fragrance, which is that tobacco and saffron. The saffron is not too loud in here. The tobacco is definitely one that takes over in the heart of this fragrance. And then in the base, you have sandalwood as well as hedione. And it is a really nice combination of notes. This definitely is a fragrance that is recklessly bold. It tantalizes the most discerning of senses, but it also can be a little off-putting for people that are not really familiar with tobacco fragrances, because it does really have that tobacco note in there. But once this calms down a little bit, it morphs into something absolutely stunning with all the other notes that makes me really, really like this fragrance. So I guess you should always give a fragrance a second chance, especially if you at first are like taken aback by it, because I've heard so many stories from people that say they have a fragrance, they spray it, they hate it, and then they revisit it a little later, a few days later, and then it starts to grow on them. So I think this is one of those fragrances that is like that. As far as the performance, this has pretty good performance on me, about 6 hours on my skin, and much, much longer on the clothes. This projects, okay? This is a fragrance that's gonna make a very bold statement. It's gonna enter a room before you do and let everybody know that you're there. That's okay. If you like fragrances that really stand out and are bold, this is perfect for you. And then the sillage is just really nice. Like I said, once this tones down a little bit, you get that intermingling of that rum with that cinnamon, that tobacco. It's just absolutely beautiful. Now, I would recommend this fragrance most likely the fall winter time. This is great if you want to wear it for a special occasion, and you can do that year round in the evening, but it is a bit of a heavier fragrance. But all around, really like the fragrance a lot. I'm glad that I worked with it a little longer and gave it a second chance because I do like it. I do highly recommend if you like those bold, more vibrant fragrances that have a lot of that tobacco in there and rum. All right, moving on to the next fragrance that I wanted to try, and that one is Instant Crush. Again, you just twist it to open it. And I've heard so much about this fragrance. I've heard so many people say, oh my gosh, Instant Crush is just like Baccarat Rouge 540. And anyway, this is by Mancera. Maybe it has that same kind of vibe. Maybe it's a way distant cousin of that. But no, it's much different to me. You get a lot of ginger in the opening. I like it a lot. So the opening of this fragrance has bergamot, it has some mandarin, saffron, and that ginger. The saffron is very strong as well in the opening, and I like saffron. So if you like saffron, you will really, really like this. If you don't like saffron, you may be taken aback by this at first. But once it kind of mellows a little bit, that saffron note definitely tones down quite a bit. Now in the heart of this, there's some rose, jasmine, amberwood, as well as patchouli. And you will pick up on patchouli. If you like patchouli, this is great. I love patchouli, so I really like that it's in this fragrance. And then in the base of this, you have some sandalwood, vanilla, oak moss, and some white musk. So it has a little bit of creaminess to it. Yeah, I'm not really picking up Baccarat Rouge. Does anybody else have this fragrance, Instant Crush? Do you feel like it's like Baccarat Rouge 540? I'm just curious. My nose just, I don't get it, but you know, everybody picks up fragrances differently. So just because I don't see the correlation between the two doesn't mean that other people don't. So anyway, this is just my personal opinion. As far as the performance on this one, it's about 6 hours on my skin, which is average, actually pretty good for me with the dry skin. It has a nice projection. It's about an arm's length. This one will get a little closer to the body. So people around you are going to pick up on this. It's definitely not one that's going to be really bold in your face, but it's very pleasing. So people within your bubble will definitely enjoy this fragrance. They're going to definitely pick up on it. It is a very, very nice fragrance. It leaves this beautiful trail. It's definitely a wave of elegance. So they're going to get that elegance. There's also a bit of the sensuality and romance with this fragrance as well. Personally, I think you can wear this one year round. I've read some people say fall, winter. Guys, in my opinion, year round. This is great for any occasion. Really nice, could be a signature scent for somebody as well. All around, really, really nice fragrance. All right, and lastly, I had to try this one as well. This one is the Sweet Flowers by Montal. This is a really nice fragrance as well. If you like florals with a lot of some fruitiness in there, as well as cotton candy. Okay, I love this cotton candy note going on in here. This is so delicious smelling to me. It opens with bergamot. You get some white peach. It's juicy. It's pretty sweet in the opening. I think that cotton candy really gives it that sugar rush. There's some spicy ginger as well as some spicy pepper in here. That spicy pepper is really, really mild. You're not really getting a lot of that. I'm getting a lot of that cotton candy in the opening. And then in the heart of this, there's some patchouli, white sambac, some tuberose, and violet. You will pick up on the tuberose, and you will also pick up a little bit of that on the violet. I'm not a huge fan of violet. I can handle it if the violet is really toned down and almost like a translucent violet. And I think in here it's very translucent, so it's not overpowering, thank goodness. And then in the base, you have vanilla, oak moss, gray amber, musk, sandalwood, and cedarwood. So really, really nice base in here. It's got that woody vibe to it. So you've got this woodiness mixed with this beautiful floral and this fruitiness, as well as sugariness from cotton candy, so very dessert-like. I think this one is really intoxicating. It's like a guilty pleasure. You can wear this one year-round. Well, actually, you know what? Could you? Maybe most likely spring, summer. Yeah, I would say spring, summer, and then maybe special events in the fall, early fall, late fall. It's just, in my opinion, a little too fruity floral for the winter. But then again, guys, it's just what you want. I mean, you don't have to follow any rules with perfume. Just because someone says, oh no, I highly recommend this for fall, winter, or that for spring, summer, you do what makes you happy. If you're wearing a fragrance and you're in the mood for wearing a floral in the middle of winter and it lifts your mood, and then I say go for it. And then as far as the performance on this one, maybe because of all the florals in here, it only lasted about 4 hours, somewhere between 4 and 6. I kind of lost track. After 4 hours, I noticed it was a lot weaker and I didn't really notice it as much. As far as projection, it's about an arm's length. This one does get much closer to the body. So people have to be pretty close to you to get this. Now, if you're moving around, say you're dancing, obviously people around you are going to get wafts of this. It is beautiful, leaves this gorgeous trail. Very nice, very pretty fragrance, very feminine. So there you have it. The first one was Side Effect by Initio. That is a unisex fragrance. The other one was Instant Crush by Mancera. That was unisex, so I talked about 2 unisex fragrances. And this last one, Sweet Flowers by Montal, is for women. So there you have it. Now, if I had to pick my favorite out of these 3 and which one I would buy a full bottle of, no doubt, believe it or not, it would be Side Effect by Initio, which was the one I turned my nose up at when I first smelled it. But yes, I would totally buy a full bottle of that one. I love it. Love the tobacco in there. Love the rum, the cinnamon, everything about that fragrance. Once it starts to dry down a little bit is like top notch. So I absolutely love it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed my review. I'm gonna put a link to Luxsb in the description box and the code to save 35% off of your first month, but you gotta be a new subscriber. And remember, there's no contracts, you can cancel at any time, and there's free shipping, tons of niche, designer, your heart's desire. Definitely check them out. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I certainly appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay beautiful inside and out.